Hey family, DrJacki here and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are already a family member, welcome back. So glad to have you. So I wanted to jump right into today's topic, before you say I do. And at the top of this podcast, I'm just going to be totally and completely transparent and open. Your purpose as a black woman on this earth is not a man. I'm going to say that again. Your purpose on this earth as a black woman is not a man. Now, the reason I say that is because it seems like every other day there's some new content or new video coming out from some red pill, black man worshiping, mammy, pickme ninja trying to convince you as a black woman that your only purpose on this earth and the only reason that you were created was to serve a man, or to be submissive to a man, or to in some kind of way have a man in your life, a husband, a man, a boyfriend, whatever, significant other. And I just want to encourage you to, especially for those of you who are single and who choose to be single, that you are not living your life outside of your purpose if you don't have a man in your life. If you're not married, if you don't have a boyfriend, if you don't have a significant other. That does not mean that you are living beneath your privilege. That does not mean that you are living outside of your purpose. And a lot of these ninjas out here will try to convince you that even from a biblical standpoint, that your role as a black woman, the reason why God placed you on this earth, was to be submissive to a man. And they go back to the story of, hey, Adam and Eve, right? I mean, God created Eve for Adam. And so that's the natural order of things. And even spiritually, that's how things are supposed to be. But for those of people who use that kind of logic, they don't know their Bible. Because if you really study the story of Adam and Eve, Adam had a purpose. Adam was created and was given a foundation, a purpose, work to do, building a garden, an empire. He was given dominion over everything. He already had everything he needed in place so that when God did bless him with a woman, she came alongside him to support what he already had going on. He didn't need her money. He didn't need her presence in order for him to have a purpose. And if you want to drill down even further, the Bible speaks about God saying it's not good for the man to be alone. Not any man, because some of these ninjas out here need to be alone until they discover the God in them, until they discover their purpose, and so forth and so on. But the Bible says that God said it was not good for the man to be alone. What man? The Adam man. The man who already had a purpose. The man who already had a destiny. The man who already had a foundation built without his wife's money or without his wife's, struggle love. The Bible does not condone struggle love, or, ride or dies, this, and the other. And so some of these ninjas out here, especially in today's, manosphere and red pill content creators, and those who support those who create such content or nonsense, are really working overtime to try to convince you that your only purpose as a woman is a man. And that is so not even biblical, and it's so far from the truth. You have your own unique purpose as a woman. And so we're going to talk about some things that I suggest that you might want to think about before you even entertain the idea of your next relationship or getting married, or just things that you can do or you should be doing as a woman to build yourself up, so that in the event that you are, in a situation or blessed or fortunate enough to connect with someone, a man who's already in his purpose, who's already on his mission in life and has an empire for you to help and to help grow. These are things that you can bring, quote unquote, to the table if you decide to even go to somebody's table and join with them in a relationship, or be totally happy, complete, and content and in purpose and in peace, living on your own. Whatever you decide to do, it's really your choice. It's not your destiny. It's not your purpose to be connected with a man. Your purpose and your destiny is to fulfill your most highest potential. And that is not a man. Because if it was, then how do you explain so many successful single women who are living healthy, happy, and fulfilling lives, traveling the world, building homes in Dubai, enjoying friendships with their, loved ones, their family, making connections, authentic connections, and really living joyous lives without a man or without a husband. It makes no sense. It just really makes no sense. So we're going to talk about things that you should be doing as a woman to build up yourself, to live life to the fullest before you even entertain the thought or the idea of saying I do. All right. Number one, complete your education, ladies. Don't let these ninjas out here tell you that, so what, you have a PhD, blah, blah. They're only saying that because they don't have one, right? And number two, they're saying it because they could be really intimidated by you, because the majority of the men, especially in our community, in the Black African American community, don't go to college. And if they do, they don't finish. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. And so, studies show that there's so many more African American women who are starting businesses, who are not only going to school, but finishing school. Get your degree, honey, because what it does is it better positions you for employment, even if your plan is to start a business. Because, businesses don't start out right out the gate making, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, if you're like most people, you're going to have to work, right? But you want to be able to position yourself to get the best opportunities or have the best opportunities presented to you as an educated woman by getting your degree. Even if you plan to start a business, getting a degree gives you leverage so that you can go out and compete in the marketplace for the best opportunity. So number one, get your degree. Finish it, girl. Finish it. Don't let these ninjas tell you that it doesn't mean anything. It does. And they know that it does. They're just trying to keep you on a level where they are because, they have not lived up to their potential. So don't buy it. Number two, travel the world. Hey, if you're single, and especially if you're single and you don't have any children, take advantage of this opportunity and travel the world. Get your passport. Go live in Italy for a year. Go live in Dubai for a year. Go live in Spain for a year. Travel the world. Go to Europe. Go to Greece. Explore. Create your own memories. Because once you start a family and once you start having children, and when you decide that marriage is something that you want to do, if you get to that point in your life, you'll never have this season of your life again. So create memories that will last. Create memories that you can look back on and say, hey, I remember that season of my life, and take pictures of, landmarks and things like that. Enjoy your life, sis. Go out there and travel the world. And number three, live in a different country. If you're single and you don't have any kids right now and you have the opportunity and you're not married and you're not, connected in any way, before you say I do to anybody, allow yourself the opportunity to experience living in another country. Hey, and who knows, right? You may decide that you want to live in France for a year or, 2 years or what have you, and you might meet a French guy. Hey, you never know, right? So, hey, don't limit yourself. Don't put the lid on yourself. Don't dumb yourself down. Don't diminish who you are. Allow yourself, give yourself permission to live your life to the fullest, right? Go and experience another country. Learn the language, learn the culture. It gives you a greater exposure to different types of people outside of your own community, right? It gives you an opportunity to learn and grow and become more of the woman that God created you to be. Don't let these ninjas out here make you think that you are not worthy unless you are connected to a man. Don't allow them to make you think that you're not uh, worthy enough to experience the greater things in life, and your only destiny is to settle for someone who is not ambitious, who wants to dominate you, right? And who really doesn't understand the whole dynamics of a meaningful relationship. Because the talking points of today are, I want a woman that's going to submit to me. She's got to submit to me. Well, dude, if you've got to ask for submission, then chances are you're not worthy to be submitted to. So, ladies, don't let these guys out here fool you with the smoke and mirrors. Live your life, live your best life before you decide to say I do. And, just as an aside, yes, women control access to sex. That is very true. And men control access to whether you're in a relationship or not. So, or whether they ask you to say I do, right? But you have the power, ladies, listen to me very closely, very carefully. Just because someone asks you to say I do doesn't mean that you have to. The choice is still yours, whether you decide to say I do or not. So understand that the power is still in your hands because you are the prize. So the fourth thing that you should do before you say I do is obviously build wealth. Build your wealth, ladies. Climb the corporate ladder if that's what you decide to do. Live within your means, budget, save, invest, and build wealth. Invest in real estate. Invest in things that bring back a return, a positive return. Focus on building your wealth so that when you do decide to say I do, if and when you do decide to say I do, this is what you're bringing to the table, all right? They like to ask that question, what do you bring to the table? You bring value, right? Among other things. Whether you decide to bring it to his table or whether you decide to keep it at your own table. Value is something that nobody can ever take away from you. So focus on building your wealth. Get out of debt. Don't live outside of your means. Don't try to dress to impress, especially when you're in the wealth building phase. So many people have learned, those who have achieved a certain level of wealth, understand that it's important not to be, invest in things that don't add value or don't appreciate in value, like clothes, like shoes. Now, I'm saying go around here looking like a bum. There's ways that you can, look your best and be well put together without breaking the bank. But focus on building your wealth, right? During this season in your life. So that whether you bring it to his table or whether you bring it to your own table, you have something that you can say, hey, I built this. This is something that I invested in. And number 5, invest in meaningful relationships with your family and with your friends. Now, one of the things that is true about marriage and relationships is that it does help you understand the dynamics of interpersonal skills. It helps you build your people skills. But just because you're not married, or you may be in a season of singleness right now, because that's your choice, you can still learn how to build meaningful relationships with other people by making new friends, by investing time with your family, by traveling the world, some of the things that we talked about, right? Those are ways that you can grow in the area of interpersonal relationships and really understand what it means to be a partner, to be a loving partner, to be a giving partner, to invest in someone else, to have a kind heart. All of those things that make you more of who you are, regardless of whether you say I do, regardless of whether you ever say I do. These are things that help you grow as a woman and become the very best version of yourself. So I hope these tips have been helpful. I hope these are things that you think about before you say I do. And ladies, don't buy into the talking points that are out nowadays that your purpose is to be with a man. That's not your purpose. Your purpose is so much greater than that. And if and when you decide to be with a man, you bring so much value to that relationship when you focus on growing who you are as a person, as a woman, and as God's daughter. So I hope this has been helpful. And hey, don't forget don't forget to hit that like button and share. And let me know what you think in the comments below. Y'all take care. Take care. Bye-bye.